Talagang marami itong langaw-langaw.
Selection, service, customer support, and quality
Maraming
delivery.
langaw.
Ready for a better mattress shopping experience? Stop by and see what sets us apart from the rest. The Original Mattress Factory, Consumer Reports' top-rated mattress store.
What if I waited my whole life to do?
Oh my
Wow, that's such a good question.
together forever.
To leave my diagnosis behind.
That's just so too much.
Para vivir mi mamá era mi infancia.
Dami nating babalutin ah.
Every child find joy. We are barbecue champions.
To run every street in my city.
To feel the switch love. To be the greatest right now. To see the world.
We had a client try to handle her case in her insurance company offered her nothing. She then hired us, and we got her $3 million. Hiring a trial attorney can help you fight for the compensation you deserve. She was broken my Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. 5,000 years of Chinese music and dance in one flavor. Oh, the show is phenomenal. This is heavenly experience.
Smiling, emotion. Everyone needs to see it.
Come to Dr. Phillips Center, Orlando.
If it's time for a new look, it's time to call Time Flip USA. Right now, get $3 for your new look. Plus, no payments and no interest for 12 months. And free gutters. Offer ends March 31st. Don't wait.
Nikki-san, my friend, hello.
Imagine yourself in a new toy.
Thank you for the like, my friend. Why gozaimasu? Dave, my friend, thank you. Arigato.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Summit to Sophia Weather. We are all committed by
Bicolanang Ali, hello.
Host Jessica Noel.
11 million, shout out.
Fox 35 Storm Team.
Welcome back. Tax season is
Why gozaimasu, my friend?
mistakes can still happen.
Everything changes as tax season experts urge you to ask for some help if you run into any issues.
Thank you, Bicolanang Ali.
You don't want to miss out on a larger refund.
16 million, shout out.
Swing, and experts are advising people to pay attention to some new changes while filing this year.
Thank you, thank you.
So happen to have one of the biggest tax law changes, including but not limited to a new $25,000 deduction for tipping.
Hoy, 16 million.
$12,500 per person over
Gawin nyo naman akong 200. Binabawi nyo eh. Hoy, binabawi nyo eh.
last December 31st.
According to Mark Stevens,
10 million, shout out guys.
Jackson Unit Tax Services, all the updates and qualifications can be confusing, and possibly cause folks to not only make mistakes, but also lose out on deductions and returns.
You know, 30 and 40 million Americans still
Binabawi nyo. Ayaw ko na sa inyo.
they omit a great deal of deductions. You see, people who have higher education not taking some of the very nice tax credits for higher education costs. Pay attention to your taxes. It's not a zero-sum game and it all gets you are responsible for what goes on your tax return.
Hoy, 4 million. Bakit ang 4 million na lang tayo guys?
Tax professional can help eliminate some of the guesswork.
Spring rolls. Yeah, it's spring rolls.
And as folks keep filing, experts say you can consider making some financial adjustments for next season based on this year's results.
You got a big refund?
Gawin nyo akong 200. Bigyan ko kayo isa.
Great. Good job.
I give you one.
Headline there, Fox News.
Well, that's all the time you had to take the headlines. Don't stop here.
Here's a preview for it.
Guys, gawin nyo akong 200 dyan, oh. Maluoy. Hoy, maawa kayo. I check your channel later, my friend, Miki-san. May marautan ko din upod ah.
Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday for News Edge at 6.
As the news continues tonight at 10, we'll see you then.
Nagugas ako guys ha.
Yeah, my little mama. My little mama. Hello, little mama. So pretty. You're so pretty. You don't call me a pretty now.
Friends, we are so glad to see you. Chris, do you feel a chill in the air?
What's that?
Oh, that explains it.
That explains it. We're chatting with the Idina Menzel herself as she's making a stop in Sarasota.
You know what also sounds like music to my ears?
Sushi.
Sushi at home. A new omakase concept in Miami is making waves. You gotta see this.
All right, yeah. Plus, we are headed to Epcot to check out day one of the International Flower and Garden
Stream
Festival.
it live recently. I streamed live recently. When?
Idina Menzel herself will
Brett, my friend, hello.
in Sarasota.
Menzel is known for her roles in Rent, Wicked, and of course Frozen.
And also known as a
Thank you, my friend Brett.
if you're John Travolta. But our friend Kim Guizhang chatted with
Last night, I'm doing live.
Menzel, the one and only, about her connection to the Sunshine State.
It's fun to go with me to this.
Tonight, the war with Iran rapidly expanding. For the first time since World War II, the US Navy is sinking an enemy ship with a torpedo fired from a fast.
I'm doing live if doing something. Hoy, 10 million, gawin nyo naman akong ano dyan. Gawin nyo kung 200 guys, kinabawi nyo eh. Naging 200 tapos bumabalik ako sa 180.
Winning decisively, devastatingly, and without mercy. The torpedo attack happened off the coast of Sri Lanka. Authorities there recovering dozens of bodies, saying only 32 people were rescued. That ship
11 days ago. Ah, you're doing your live 11 days ago.
says it's destroyed.
Okay, I check you later.
The Trump administration claiming US and Israeli forces control the sea and the
We're gonna play your video.
President Trump saying the US is in a very strong position.
We're in very good shape now. I want to let you know that, and we will continue forward. But it's a great display of military strength.
The Pentagon saying there are now more than 50,000 troops in the Middle East, with more on the way. The US now set to strike deeper into Iranian territory.
Pugi.
Larger waves are coming. We are just getting
Pugi and Japanese me. Wow.
not decelerating. Iran's capabilities are evaporating by the hour, while American strength grows fiercer, smarter, and utterly dominant. With officials revealing the current operation has delivered twice the air power of the shock and awe campaign.
May kasama pala to. May kasama ka palang nag-live ha. Puging Japanese.
US missile stockpiles could run low if the war drags on.
My friend Miki-san.
Precision munitions for the task at hand, both on the offense and defense. I appreciate the interest, but just know that we consider that an operational security matter.
There are also questions tonight about the number of US interceptors across the Middle East being used by multiple countries to try to block these Iranian missiles and drones. Will the interceptors last? Because military officials say it takes 2 or 3 of them to shoot down just one Iranian ballistic missile. And experts predict Iran had a stockpile of more than 2,000. Tonight, Iran launching a new wave of strikes across the Gulf. A UK fighter jet shooting down an Iranian drone over Jordan. NATO saying it intercepted an Iranian ballistic missile over Syria that was heading for
My friend, Rustic Outdoor.
of an Iranian
see that.
But US and Israeli officials say the Iranian attacks have slowed down. And from inside Iran, a harrowing
Hello,
advice
my
from a
friend.
young anti-government activist in Tehran.
How are you doing?
Speaking out. We're not naming her to protect her identity.
It is very, very dangerous outside. Everybody from the regime has become.
I'm doing good.
Most of them.
You doing
are
fishing?
Very ugly and furious, and they have free will to shoot everybody. They don't think about anything.
You doing fishing, my friend?
They're worried the war will stop before the regime is gone.
Dami kong balutin, guys. Oh.
1,000 deaths, with Iranian officials expected to elect a new supreme leader.
Mukhang matagal-tagalan to.
Ayatollah Khamenei's own son, Mujtaba, a hardliner, likely to stick to his father's legacy.
No, it's been storming here. Oh,
Israel's defense minister warning if Iran's new leader followed the same path as Khamenei, he would become an unequivocal target for elimination. Tonight, the US confirming the Iranian Revolutionary Guard
it's raining.
identified as the mastermind behind the 2024 plot to assassinate President Trump has also been killed.
The leader of the unit who attempted to assassinate President Trump has been hunted down and killed. Iran tried to kill President Trump, and President Trump got the last laugh.
Really good. Thank you, my friend, Miki-san.
Not seen a deadly torpedo attack since 1945. Tell us more about how that happened.
Yeah, that's pretty astonishing, right? The first time since the Second World War, and used with devastating firepower. The US Navy firing on the Iranian warship. This was off the coast of Sri Lanka. So many Iranian sailors killed in that attack. And I think it shows the lengths to which that the US is prepared to go to crush Iran. Lindsay?
Ian Panel Force Intel Review, thank you. For decades, the U.S. has supported Kurdish forces in the Middle East and elsewhere. This time is no different. Chief International Correspondent James Loman is in northern Iraq tonight. James?
Hi, Lindsay. There has been a lot of reporting over the last 24 to 48 hours that the CIA and Israel have been helping to fund
You're welcome. Let's go.
opposition groups in Iraq to launch a ground invasion into Iran. These are Kurdish groups. The Kurds live across
Are you doing coffee?
in this region. And they have worked with the United States many times before with the coalition to fight ISIS.
What time on Japan?
The first Gulf War that the
My friend,
United States
Miki-san.
helped the Kurds in the fight
8?
against Saddam Hussein, only to cut
8
back
a.m.
against the Kurds. Well, it does seem like there is a plan in the offing. This individual, Omar Baluchi, did not want to confirm it, but telling me he did not deny that this is something that might indeed happen. I put it to him that Americans would be watching and they might be worried about another forever war. He said very simply, we are ready for anything. And he said Americans should finish what they started
9 a.m.
and they should fix it. He told me that they haven't received any official confirmation from the United
Here
States.
is 7 p.m.
He doesn't want to reveal plans at this stage, but like I said, it does feel to us that something might be happening here. If indeed it is the case that the United States is going to fund the ground invasion
Daniel
into
Preb.
Iran,
Sino yun?
possibly offer it air support, and that totally changes the dynamic of this war. Lindsay?
James, thank you. The Pentagon has identified some of the 6 Army reservists killed during the drone strike in Kuwait. Their man is out of Des Moines, Iowa. The youngest reservist, just 20 years old. We're now hearing from some of their families about their lives at home and their dedication to service. Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Rackets reports from Tel Aviv.
Tonight we are learning more about the first American soldiers who were killed in that Iranian drone strike in Kuwait.
I still don't fully think it's real. I didn't think it was real when they told us.
Sergeant Declan Cody was from Des Moines and just 20 years old. His sister Kira recalling the moment the doorbell rang and she got
Kailangan pagawa ako ng almost 200 pieces.
He had just been recommended for a promotion from specialist to sergeant. He was promoted posthumously. 39-year-old Sergeant First Class Nicola Moore, a month or two, was just days away
Good
from
evening,
returning to
sir.
her family in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Husband Joey spoke to her just 2 hours.
Go stick outdoors, my friend.
Telling the AP, you don't go to Kuwait thinking 3 months left on his tour. His twin brother Nicholas telling the New York Times he just wanted to get there
Hindi ko mababa
and get it
yung
over with and get back. John Coleman served alongside
bahay ni
TJ's.
ano,
You could call it day or night. He always took the
ni
time. You know, he made it
brother.
important. And
I'm here
that's
watching.
hard to find sometimes in the military.
Captain Cody Cork's family said
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
loved deeply and served honorably.
14 million ang bakan ka mo eh. Hindi ka. Gawin nyo kung lang 200 guys. Ay nako, ginabawi nyo naman.
In the Army Reserve assigned to the 103rd Sustainment Command and charged with keeping troops fed and supplied with equipment. Officials tell ABC News
There we go, my friend Mickey-san.
was vulnerable to aerial attacks.
Lindsay, President Trump will be there for the dignified transfer of the soldiers' remains at Dover Air Force Base.
Buo to si my friend Rustic Outdoors eh. My friend Rustic Outdoor, did you got the raccoon? The raccoon? Is that a raccoon?
We're joined now by ABC News national security and defense analyst Nick Mulway. Nick, thanks so much for joining us.
What kind of animals under the ground?
The Air Force have been, quote, knocked out. Earlier, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Kane, said U.S. forces would strike.
Raccoon? Ah, mole.
How do you see the military's next moves playing out?
So, Lindsay, I think we're shifting from the
Grabe yung huli mo dun ah.
attacks on a lot of the
My friend Brett, thank you. Hoy, 13 million. Hello, Rustic, from my friend Nikki-san. Here, my friend, Sergeant Gaming. Much love, my friend.
We have gravity bombs that are GPS guided.
Good evening.
We have less T-LAMs because we've used them in the initial phases. I think the whole plan right now is to degrade their capacity to wage war against their enemies.
Tell Happy I said hi.
But also the ballistic missile side.
Baby,
Yeah.
my friend Rustic Outdoor, he say hi to you.
Oh, hello.
Which is where 20% of the world's energy supply actually flows. So I think
He say hello to you, my friend.
is to systematically degrade their military so that they cannot wage war against its neighbors.
And we know that a U.S. torpedo and sank Iran in the Pacific and Indian Ocean, first time the U.S. has done that since World War II. What does that tell you about the different strategies that the U.S. is pursuing in this war?
My friend, Sergeant Gaming. Are you in, what is this? Japan?
From everything we've heard,
Girlfriend nito, Japanese eh.
to defend its country. And as soon as we got back in the Persian Gulf, it would be an enemy combatant ship, and that's why I think the U.S. Navy took it out where it did. Again, that's a military.
He sounds like he has a cold. No,
International legal view of this.
he's smoking, that's why.
Military target that should have been on notice that it was a combatant.
Thank you, my friend Brett.
Currently planning to put troops on the ground in Iran, but would not rule it out.
He
What would it take to get to
smoked.
that point?
So Lindsay, I think they just don't want to rule it out because they don't want to give any indication what they might do. I really don't think politically it's a viable option to put forces on the ground. If that would be the case, we would definitely know about it. It would take 2 to 3 times as many troops mobilized as it did.
My friend Brett, did you earn followers on Facebook?
In 2003, it is 4 times the geographic size of Iraq.
Spring rolls.
The population size of Iraq. So we would definitely.
I'm selling this, my friend Rustic Outdoors.
Invasion. Now that's not including.
I'm selling this, that's why I make it.
Special operations units, which could be used for very limited purposes and not really including.
Foreign people love this.
And just shifting gears here, we're going to discuss this topic a bit later in the show, but yesterday the U.S. and Ecuador carried out a joint military operation.
I have order tomorrow, so that's why I make it more. I make more.
About how the U.S. plans to deal with cartels going forward.
So Lindsay,
This is pork.
a lot of the cocaine that comes out of Colombia and Peru going into the United States, working side by side with
So?
our partners there. It was at the invitation of the president of Ecuador that U.S. forces supported.
I need to make 200 of this. 200. I try my best to get 200. Or almost.
Significant. I think this is just an indication this is how the U.S. wants to fight this war, primarily through partners. If we have to, of course, we can also use the CIA and special operations, but this is the preferred way of doing
Did you try this?
They fight these cartels, and we stop the flow.
This is too expensive in here.
Narcotics to the United
Napaka-gold to,
States.
guys.
And Tony, so appreciate
Dito.
your time and insight. Thank you. Today at the White House, President Trump rated the U.S. military operation thus far on a scale of 1 to 10 as, quote, about 15. And late today, Senate Democrats trying to force a war powers vote to restrict military action without congressional
Yeah, guys, if
approval.
you're a Filipino, you know,
Senator James Lanford. But first, here's our chief White
sino
House
yung Pilipinong
correspondent.
nakatira dito, guys? Sa US. Maghanap kayo, guys, ng paraan para makagagdag ng kita.
To put it mildly, I would say. Somebody said on a scale of 10, we said about 15.
Na, sa Pilipinas kasi
The power to declare war is ours.
ang mga tao doon nahihiya.
Turning our back on the Constitution and our responsibility to the American people.
Dito, guys, kapal ang mukha mo, huwag kang mahihiya dito, mamatay ka. Looks good.
But Republicans blocked it.
We don't have to authorize military operations.
Napaka-gold to, guys. Ang isang piraso tong ginagawa ko, isang putol. Naku, $4 na yan, isang putol nito.
War powers vote has failed. What else are Republicans saying about it?
Well, let's say Republicans are adamant that the president doesn't need congressional authorization for this fight going forward.
Isang putol nito, $4 na yan.
This isn't a war at all. But here at the White House, the president has been
Makin mo yung
exactly that.
12 pieces,
Mary Bruce Force, thanks so much, Mary. Thank you. Also today,
500 pesos kung sa peso. 500 pesos. Yung 12 pieces. $10. So, 500 pesos na yan sa Pilipinas. Kita mo lang? Gold na gold yung yung price.
Senator James Lanford, Senator, as always, we thank you so much for your time. The key question over whether this use of force was authorized was over.
So, kung mayroon kang 25 pieces, 1,000 na, guys, kung sa Pilipinas. May order akong mga 50 pieces. $60.
Just since 2023, they've obviously funded the Houthis and Hamas and Hezbollah. We have about $750,000.
$60. So, magkano na yan?
That live in Jordan, that live in the
3,000 na.
Saudi Arabia or Israel or Egypt or
Sa
Turkey.
3,000, guys.
Americans that are in harm's way. And there seems to be this
Yan.
perception amongst some that if there's an intercontinental ballistic missile that can reach Kansas,
Bibigyan ko na kayo, guys, ng tip.
well, that's not true.
Ang panay gawa-gawa nyo yan ng mga content, no? Na walang kita. Mabuti pa magtinda kayo, magluto kayo, magtinda kayo. Double purpose. Huwag na yung panay lang ang post, tapos wala ka namang kikitain. Sayang ang inuras mo, nasayang pa yung wifi mo, yung pang-load mo. Kailangan gumagawa ka ng content. Magawa ka ng content. Sabayan mo ng business. Yun yung doon, ang technique. Hindi kaya gumagawa ka ng content. Sabayan mo ng pag-a-affiliate ng mga product sa Shopee. Promote ba? Para double purpose, wag lang yung panay ng post ng post, tapos bengkong yung bengkong yung bengkong yung mo, platform mo, walang kinita. Ako, guys, nagla-live ako, kinanglan may ginagawa. Ayaw ko mag-live na walang ginagawa. No. Para double purpose, nagagawa ka, nagsasalita ka. May ginagawa ka, Nadadagdagan pa yung ano mo.
Authorization for the use of military force?
Yeah, we've got to get through the next couple of weeks here to be able to determine. The president's been very, very focused on this to be able to try to get as much done as we can in a very short period of time. No one
Kagabi, nag-live ako.
no one's looking for a long-term war in the Middle East.
Pinaliparan ako ng aking Japanese friend
But I think we've got
ng 500 yen. Dalawang bisis.
few days this operation.
So, ang 500 yen is 500 yen is 250 siguro sa peso.
That has attacked Americans for 47 years, over and over and over again.
Daming langaw-langaw.
Barracks, whether it's ambassadors, whether it's trying to assassinate U.S. presidents, whether it's launching into civilians in countries all over the region, or being able to attack Americans even on American soil.
So, malaking bagay na yun, guys, sa platform. Grabe naman tong langaw-langaw.
Obviously, with any military operation, you can't plan the whole thing out to the precise day. It's a military operation. Many things are unpredictable. But so
So, doble ang purpose, guys.
What do you see as Congress's role in this war?
Nag-exercise ka na, nakabawas ka na ng calories sa katawan mo, may palipad pa, may views ka pa. Oh. Saan ka nun? At saka, yung palipad kasi sa Facebook, mayroong dahilan bakit ka binigyan ng palipad. Hindi lang ibig sabihin. Valentino, amigo. Ulam, amigo. Hindi lang ibig sabihin, guys, binigyan ka ng palipad ay swerte ka na. Bakit ang daming palipad? May kapalitin yun, guys. Mayroong ano yun. Ba't ka binigyan ng palipad? Mayroong dahilan din. Ang Japanese friend ko na yan ay isang veterinary sa Japan.
Domestic law under Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, which gives Congress the power to declare war. But there
So, friend ko siya sa TikTok. Friend ko siya sa YouTube. Sinusupport ko yung mga video niya sa TikTok. Are you yung happy clap yun ka dyan?
There is zero doubt, though, that over the last several decades, going back 50, 60, 70 years, that particular norm has eroded to the point where presidents of both parties have undertaken military actions similar, not necessarily the same as this one, without that congressional.
Dito kasi sa Facebook.
What we have now with the War Powers Resolution that you were discussing now with Senator Lang,
Nadikat-dikatan ka lang ng mga ilang araw, pinagbabawi na yung sub, inansub ka na. Inunfollow ka na. Hindi makaantay.
And so let's really kind of zero in on that for a moment because the president communicated.
Pala mo naman yung mga videong ginagawa ay may makukunang Kailangan, guys, mayroong makukunang idea yung tao sa video mo.
well, the first way it fails in practice, Lindsay, is that it gets voted down. Today was the 8th time that a War Powers Resolution has been voted down by this Congress just in Donald Trump's second term. Say that again, 8 particular War Powers Resolutions in Congress have now been voted down in just the first year and change of the second administration.
Kundi pagdating ng 28 of March, may sahod ng kulira. Magsasahod na naman tayo, guys.
Force a withdrawal, although whether or not they would actually be able to effectuate that withdrawal is another matter, within 60 days by voting against the War Powers Resolution by passing.
Ganun lang yun ang kalakaran sa social media.
The president gets an extension to 90 days, there is no
Kailangan guys,
authorization for the use of military
nagsusupport
force
ka,
and UMF, something that
nagla-live ka rin,
in the Iraq War, something that existed in the first Gulf War. What Donald Trump
nagla-live.
has done here is what did happen in those earlier instances that I referenced, which is to say those presidents who initiated
Kailangan sa live mo, yung nagsasalita ka na
that didn't happen here. So in theory, at the end of a
mayroong mapagkuhanan ng tao ng idea.
is up against a rigid deadline without additional
Hindi yan panay ang gain mo ng followers.
As always, really appreciate you joining the show.
Alam nyo guys, ang followers number lang yan. Hindi yan siya makakatulong sa pag-uwit ng ano, ng earnings mo.
Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Carl has the details.
Tonight, Democrats see an opening in deep red Texas. State lawmaker James Talarico, aspiring Presbyterian minister, defeated Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in the primary to become the Democratic candidate
Tsaka huwag kang mamili yung nagpalipad, yun lang yung isusupport mo.
division, emphasizing compassion.
Now, I noticed you don't talk about Trump very much, at least in your ads. It's not like much of a factor. Why is that?
Well, aren't we all?
Kailangan kung sino yung nasa video mo, yun yung tutukan mo kasi
The president is front and center in the Republican Senate.
yun yung mga legit na tao.
Incumbent John Cornyn is facing a bruising runoff.
Yung followers na pinalo mo, nakakuha ka ng
refuse to allow a flawed, self-centered, and shameful
13,000 followers.
tin packs and risk everything we've worked so hard to build.
Tapos hindi 13,000 yung nag-follow sa ay nag-support sa iyo.
Of being disloyal to President Trump.
For too long, he stabbed our president.
Kasi nga, numero lang yun, hindi naman makakatulong.
Today, Trump announced, quote, I will be making my endorsement soon and will be asking the candidate that I don't endorse to immediately drop out of the race.
Jonathan Carl joins us now. John, so the million-dollar question, who do you think President Trump will endorse?
Well, look, there's been a lot of speculation today that he's going to endorse John Cornyn. That's certainly what John Thune, the Republican leader in the Senate, hopes. But I just a short while ago spoke to the White House, spoke to also
Gutom na ako.
the president. I truly believe he has not made up his mind here.
I'm hungry. When I open the freezer, because I look the ice cream. No ice cream now.
No ice cream. You ate it.
Man, he really hoped in the past. You remember
You eat it.
They thought he had a great chance in 2018 against Ted Cruz. Colin Allred in 2024. But this time they believe they have a candidate
Abutin ako ng ano dito.
able to appeal.
Baby, can you give me the racket?
And let's face it,
Have a lot of flies, oh.
statewide in Texas, unless you get a lot of independents voting for you and at least some Republicans, and they believe Talarico with his evangelical
Patayin ko muna to.
Christian past is the idea that he is an aspiring
Not there?
Presbyterian minister. This is a guy who puts the Bible in his speeches, and they believe that he will bring over some Republicans as well.
Jonathan Carl, for us, thanks so much, John. Coming up, the new United Airlines requirement for passengers on board their flights, plus hundreds of tons of drugs passed through Ecuador's ports each year. The Executive United States anti-drug efforts behind the numbers. The next, the Americans stuck in the crosshairs of war.
Animalistong flying na to eh. Ito yan.
Everyone that was there before you never really goes away. And what a beautiful thing.
Rocky. Animalist na yan. Manabog muna ako ng langaw. May alaman kasi ako sa loob ng bahay, kaya ganun. Hindi naman langaw yan. Yung, parang yung maliliit na ano, na hayop. Galing sa lupa yan, sa halaman.
I was sent to prison for 110 years.
Bender was convicted in
Kakainis. Lumipad-lipad. Hindi ganito.
Real dangerous with my charming smile. I beg your return of something because I have orders to shoot to kill.
Disturbing sa ginagawa ko, animalis.
This could be the one. I never had to shoot anybody, but that first bullet has a name on it.
Suddenly there's knock on door. Holy. This is it.
Run, the hunt for America's most wanted woman. Only on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus.
I have a 15-year-old daughter, and get all over. I'm scared to death.
We wanted to talk to cherished friends.
The information we were getting was fragmented.
Someone was hiding something.
The truth is gruesomely horrific.
How could you do this to someone who's your best friend?
There's something bigger that's not been said, the deeper, darker secret.
My name is Pamela Smart. I'm accused of being an accomplice to the murder of my husband, Greg. But I am not guilty.
You're taking full responsibility,
Right?
for your husband's death.
Yes.
But it's different than saying I plead guilty.
It's my fault I'm here, but does that mean I have to be here forever?
The Widow and the Wiretap, now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Wearing that old can change my life, and I'm ready for it.
I love singing, I love getting on stage with excitement, I love the pressure of it.
We're making dreams come true.
Thank you.
American Idol, you Monday, ABC.
As the war with Iran continues, the State Department is scrambling now tens of thousands of stranded Americans whose efforts to leave the region have been impeded by flight cancellations and airstrikes. Our Marcus Moore reports from Qatar tonight.
Hear the siren behind me?
Amidst the hail of drone strikes and the wail of sirens, Melissa Ramos is desperately seeking a way out of Kuwait.
We're doing everything we can to get a land border crossing out of here because the missiles and drones keep attacking.
The American travel expert sees smoke and watching missile interceptors from her hotel window. She's been documenting this new war since her arrival while simultaneously looking for an escape route.
We are finally evacuating Kuwait on our own terms. The government has not helped us at all.
The Kuwait airport shut down after a strike. Sources
Grabe na yung mga to, ah.
increasing pressure to get the government to help.
We have seen governments post today telling all Latin Americans to evacuate on their own.
Wala may ngogid. Tara, Kusan, my friend.
Coming under attack and Americans stranded.
Hi, gozaimasu.
Escaping has not been easy.
Even cruise ships in the region are forced to wait out the conflict for now.
Langaw-langaw, gid nga, maliliit to.
Business trip in India.
At saan lang nagahulog.
Blackman was on the last leg of his journey home to Dallas when he realized his flight was being diverted.
Saw some breaking news that Iranian airspace could be restricted. My initial reaction was probably win, refuel, find a different route, maybe head west. And then, 4 or 5 days later, still in Doha.
With few choices, he says staying put seems the safest option for him. What has he done to try to find a way out?
Right now, the priority is there are individuals that are either taking buses or ground transportation to Riyadh or other locations in the region, or kind of sitting tight in Doha is kind of one of two options. My current feeling is I feel safe in Doha.
In the Oval Office, the president faced with tough questions.
Why wasn't there an evacuation plan, and will you send planes to get people out?
Well, because it happens all very quickly.
Not long after that back and forth, the State Department announced it was looking at military aircraft and chartered flights for Americans trapped in the Middle East.
How many do you have to make? I need
The White House
almost
to place blame on the Americans who are still stranded in the
200.
The Secretary of State issued level 4 travel.
I need to make 200.
To January for many of these countries in the region. Again, I just laid out for you that there have been been plans in place, and that the State Department
because I
has
have
been very
ordered
clear to the
tomorrow.
American people that traveling within this region, not to travel to these regions.
He ordered
with
50 pieces.
notices to leave immediately.
So far, the government says 17,500 Americans have
So
returned from the
50
region,
pieces is
with at least 14 countries now caught in the
$40.
crosshairs.
For 50
Many
pieces,
more Americans are left to get
$40.
out, mostly
My
on
friend
their
Rustic
own.
Outdoor.
This map showing the blackout of air travel with airstrikes, the biggest concern.
I had the best trip of my life.
All my customer is foreign
On
people.
his way home from a wedding in India, one of the son's James friends in Doha, Qatar, the connection and takeoff seemed to go smoothly enough.
Now I'm talking to the flight notification that said that the U.S. And Israel had started airstrikes on Iran. We had to turn back around and go to Doha. I think it was 12:30 in the morning. And a bunch of airport staff rushed into the lounge and they told me to evacuate the airport. People have just reported that Kuwait's airport and Dubai airport were getting hit.
Dramatic videos posted online show the explosions on intercepts inside Qatar.
If you're not eating fish, pork and beef, I make fish. I have to fill order for skipjack, 400 fish, $5 each. For 400 pesos, 400 pesos, for 400 pieces.
Quite an ordeal for you. Did you also contact the embassy? Did you get any help?
Oh, nice.
Zero help from the embassy.
Nice.
It looks like her friends were able to hire a car and drive to Saudi Arabia.
You know, half of this is $4. Oh, wow, 2,000. 2,000, wow, 2,000.
The gravity of the war at this moment is not lost on Ryan in Doha.
Half of this is $4. Yayamanin na to si my friend Rustic Outdoor.
And while Ryan waits for safe passage home from Doha, his thoughts are with his wife and children.
What's that moment gonna be like? Seeing your wife and those little kiddos?
Kailangan ko guys makagawa ng almost sobra pa sa 200. Meron pa ko isang box na pangbalot.
Charlotte Miller, thanks to Marcus for that. The State Department says their task force has helped 6,500 Americans with options and guidance on leaving the region, but that does not include any organized charter flights by the government, which they say they're in the process of organizing, encouraging Americans.
If you're a vegetarian. Lord Jesus, my friend. Hola, amiga. I will catch and sell them for the next 2 months. Oh, nice. Me too, my friend Rustic Outdoors. If I'm doing fishing, I gonna sell the fish too. It's too expensive in here.
When I was watching American Idol, I was sure that I was going to find a way onto that stage. This audition is the first page of my story.
I believe in myself.
If I could do this,
I belong here.
holy crap, I'm auditioning for American Idol.
Buenas noches, amiga.
So it's all out.
My name is Pamela Smart. I'm accused of being an accomplice in the murder of my husband, Greg. But I am not guilty.
Malaki na yun.
You're taking full responsibility, right, for your husband's death. Yes.
But it's different than saying I plead guilty.
It's my fault I'm here, but does that mean I have to be here forever?
The widow and the wiretap now streaming
Did you sell the catfish, my friend? Rustic Outdoor.
Wherever we are, it feels like home.
It's nice that to make a curry. Catfish curry. Curry.
DNA, it's an invitation to come together. And brighten your morning.
I have a 15-year-old daughter, and you know,
Oh, you never had that.
We wanted to talk to Skylar's friends. The information that we were getting was fragmented.
Cuban people make a curry.
How could you do this to someone who's your best friend?
There's something bigger
Me
than
too. I
this.
never.
It's the deeper, darker secret.
Who could have wanted a rising football star dead?
Shot and killed execution style. He was 22 years old.
It's heartbreaking. The murder of Brian Paddock took on mythological proportions. Everybody's a suspect.
This is the first time a police entity has ever reached out to ESPN for help.
It wasn't the police that discovered this key witness. It was ESPN.
Is that like a fish soup? Where? Oh, yes.
I've learned some really hard truths the hard way. I'm a man novice.
But you need to put turmeric.
The girl who was accused of murder. I got treatment from the media, but the media did not put me in prison. He did. So I went back to confront the man who put me in prison face to face. I think I'm a little in shock. This is what you need to know.
Peanuts.
We'll take you straight to where news is happening.
Give you what you need to know all in under 10 minutes. New episodes streaming every day. Welcome back to Prime. Here's a look at the stories making headlines right now. A video released by the Pentagon shows the moment a U.S. submarine torpedoed and sank an Iranian warship with more than 180 crew members on board. 32 sailors were rescued from the Indian Ocean. It was the first time since 1945 a U.S. sub sank an enemy ship. U.S. Central Command is reporting that more than 20 Iranian ships have been struck or sunk since the war began. This is all happening as the Senate rejected the Democratic-led Iran War Powers resolution that called for congressional approval for military action against Iran. The resolution would have directed the removal of U.S. armed forces from engagements against Iran. It failed by a vote of 47 to 53. Meanwhile, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem testified.
Ramichan-san, my friend. Ohay gozaimasu.
Facing a continued bipartisan grilling, as top Democrat Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland claimed she turned our government against our people. No one pushed back, calling his comments falsehoods and lies. Coming up, cracking down on drug cartels, the new operation the U.S. military is helping to launch in Ecuador. We examine the United States anti-drug efforts by the numbers. And a frozen food recall where potential blast contamination.
Thank you.
My name is Pamela Smart. I'm accused of being an accomplice to the murder of my husband, Greg. But I am not guilty. You're taking full responsibility, right? For your husband's death. Yes. But it's different than saying I plead guilty. It's my fault I'm here. But does that mean I have to be here forever?
The Widow and the Wiretap, now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
RJ Tecker, I'm a private investigator. And I'd like to ask you a few questions about what happened yesterday. You could offer me another job.
Maybe we dive in together and...
Kuboko-chan, my friend. Hayu. Arigato.
What happened to your eye?
It's complicated.
I was sent to prison for 110 years. I knew that I was going to die in prison. And then one day, I thought, I'm gonna get out of here.
Investigators say Sarah Pender is on loose and dangerous. Run, Sarah, run.
I have orders to shoot to kill. Suddenly, there was no hope. Holy.
Linggutom na ako, guys. Wala pa ako sa kalahati.
Wanted woman, only on Hulu and
Disney Plus. Now you can listen to a podcast version of This Week, available free wherever you listen. The stories that shape your world, that shape
Dami pa akong balutin. Dami pa.
the most powerful stories of our time. Nightline, midnight on ABC and streaming on Hulu.
Welcome back, everyone. The Pentagon announced that Ecuadorian and U.S. military forces have launched operations against designated terrorist organizations inside the country. This marks the first time U.S. military assisted a land operation against South American drug cartels, though specific details like location and scope of the operation remain scarce. Ecuador in recent years has become a critical logistical hub in the global drug trade. Hundreds of tons of cocaine pass through Ecuador's ports, bound for Europe and the United States. Let's examine the United States' anti-drug efforts by numbers. The United States gave Ecuador nearly $20 million in security commitments in support of the country's fight against drug cartels. That includes more than $13 million in general security funding, plus $6 million in drone technology for the Ecuadorian Navy. Killings in Ecuador have increased despite
Hindi ko pa to nakita yung mukha ni ni Kubukut-chan.
rose 40% in 2025 compared to the same period in 2024. In neighboring countries,
Ang mga Japanese kasi guys, bihira lang magpakita ng kanilang mga mukha.
narcotics and security efforts. And in Mexico, the United States has provided more than $3 billion to combat
Nagtatakip ng mga mukha.
organized crime, drug trafficking, and violence.
Nag-aano sila.
Coming up,
Lalagay ng mask.
pulling from their 401ks, and United Airlines is taking new measures to ensure passengers have a more quiet experience. Those details coming up.
I was sent to prison for 110 years. And knew that I was going to die in prison. And then one day, I thought, I bet I can get out of here.
Investigators say Sarah Heather is on the loose and dangerous. Run, Sarah, run.
I have orders to shoot to kill. Suddenly, there was talk of holy.
Girl on the Run, the hunt for America's most wanted woman. Only on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus.
Where is it?
Yes.
Where you just like straight kill that boy like what? Something that you cannot unsee.
I'm sorry, Cassie's family. She's been back.
These two boys stabbed this girl 30 times in our video of their glee.
Just kill Cassie.
This is what you need to know. We'll take you straight to where news is happening.
I'll give you what you need to know all in under 10 minutes.
The top stories, latest headlines,
What everyone's talking about.
what you need to know, all in under 10 minutes.
New episodes streaming every day.
Only on Disney Plus.
Everyone knows there before you. Never really go away. What a beautiful thing.
PG-13. America's #1 series now streaming 24/7 on Disney Plus. The stories that shape your world, that shape your life. Dramatic, stunning, empowering, jaw-dropping. The most powerful stories of our time. Nightline, midnight on ABC and streaming on Hulu.
A child stuck in a claw machine, a frozen food recall, and the airline now saying you must wear headphones. These stories and more in tonight's rundown. A child had been
Very nice, tita.
stuck inside a claw machine in
Oo.
Ryan Campbell said that he was busily watching his dog.
Ito yung gawin nyo. Mag-ano kayo. Pangita ng paraan.
Son Patrick inside the machine. When asked why he crawled inside the machine, 3-year-old Patrick simply said, I get bald. Just weeks ago, the same thing happened at the same claw machine to another child. Local firefighters have even put together a special toolkit in case another
Hindi lang kayo nga. Puro lang kayo, ano,
A frozen food company announced its
cellphone.
33 million pounds of its products, including popular frozen meals sold at Trader Joe's. The recall affects various frozen chicken and pork
Hindi lang yung mga tao na nandito. Yun lang yung mahanap ng paraan para sa inyo.
with foreign material, including glass. Affected products at Best Buy days ranging from February 28, 2026 through August 19, 19th of 2027.
Sa panahon ngayon guys, yung taong tamad,
Firefighters are speaking out after they helped
hindi talaga nabuo na ano yan,
trapped in a hot air
nabubuhay.
900 feet in the air.
Taong tamad.
Bellevue Fire Department Lieutenant Stephen Winchell and firefighter Cliff Patrick called the incident the Super Bowl of rope rescues. Winchell and Patrick said it took more than an hour for rescue crews to climb the
Huwag yung ano na yung mga tao na nandito sa Amerika, mayayaman na. Nagdadamputan ng pera.
basketball suspended mid-air in 20-mile-an-hour wind, but were brought down to the ground safely.
Hindi dito ano lang yung pera.
New data released by investment manager Vanguard shows that more Americans than ever are tapping into the 401k.
Kailangan marunong ka dumiskarte.
Money manager says a record 6% of workers took a hardship withdrawal from their accounts last year. According to Vanguard, the
Huwag iasa ang sarili sa mga puti.
most common reason for the
Kaya mga yan, hindi yan sila
paying medical bills.
obligado na buhayin yung buong pamilya sa Pilipinas.
Be sure to bring your headphones. The airline has updated its policy to require passengers to use headphones when listening to audio or watching video content. According to the new policy,
Tanggalin nyo yung mga maling pag-iisip nyo.
or in some cases, permanently ban customers who did not adhere to the policy.
Yung mga Pilipina na kapag asawa ng Pinay,
Might be eligible for a refund. United
nakahiga na sa pera.
this policy and other airlines also have similar policies in place.
Tanggalin nyo yan guys kasi hindi kayo nasa sitwasyon. Kayong chismis lang kayo, nag-iisip lang kayo. Wala kayo sa sitwasyon ng mga taong yan. Dito sa bansang to, maraming oportunidad. Kaya maraming nangangarap na makapunta dito. Pero hindi ibig sabihin, pag nandito ka na, mayaman ka na. Ikaw na ang gagawa ng kakaahon mo. It's almost garden season. Yes! I'm starting planting now, my friend. Rustic Outdoors. I'm starting for the seeds.
We sat down with some of the creatives of this hit film and song at this year's Oscars luncheon.
I start pepper and eggplant. And garlic.
And now for the first time in Academy Awards history, Golden
Ayan o, copyright na ako niyan.
K-pop Demon Hunters is
Copyright na yung giatay na yan.
K-pop genre to be nominated for Best Original Song.
It means so much because that's exactly what, Golden did. And, it helped me go through a hard time. So I'm just really grateful that, people are really connecting with the lyrics and it's beyond just a pop song. It's truly
Co-writer Golden and lead singer EJ is taking this Oscar moment with gratitude.
I worked so hard. I think for me, because I've been a K-pop idol trainee for so long, since 11, and to see where my life is now, it's just so many windy roads, but I feel incredibly proud of it.
Golden is equated to Let It Go from Frozen. It is the song that's played on repeat in our homes. Parents are going through it with their kids because they're playing it still to this day and they've been playing it since June.
The film, also nominated in the animated feature category, follows a K-pop girl group called Huntress. The band members lead double lives. As demon hunters face off against the Saja Boys, a rival boy band whose members are secretly demons. Writer and director Maggie Kang wanted to create a story inspired by her South Korean heritage.
We're so grateful for the fans. They really carried this movie and really, it just blossomed with word of mouth. They were just making content so quickly. So it was kind of like free marketing, I'm gonna say.
For EJ, this historic recognition is validation. She trained for years to become a pop idol in Seoul, only to be told
Okay, my friend, you're going to bed now. It's okay. Thank you so much. Good night. I'm done this, I think, 10 at 10 p.m. 10 or 11. Marami pa to. Wala pa ako sa kalahati.
Surprise that it reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
May order kasi ako tomorrow. Kailangan ko gawin.
Stevie Wonder was walking out. So I was like, no. And I was so nervous. My mic was just like shaking. That's what makes me keep going on the stage. I think that's when all the nerves go away. And when I really focus on the lyrics and see people like sing it with me, that synergy is a spiritual experience.
I think Golden really stands the best shot at winning Best Original Song.
Happening live from outside the Dolby Theater in Hollywood, co-hosting On the Red Carpet at the Oscars, starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, March 15th on ABC and streaming on ABC News Live, followed by the 98th Academy Awards at 7 p.m. Eastern on ABC and streaming live on Disney+. Coming up, more on the American stranded in the Middle East tonight. Late details from the State Department about some much-needed help to get people home. And the exciting new journey for our parent company, Disney. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Governor Brian. I'll be hosting the 98th Annual Academy Awards Sunday, March 15th. Join me for a night of pure Hollywood magic. Cut and freeze and hold the pose, Conan, and set the award. Okay, clear the mark, and action. Oh! See you there. Cut, we got it. So you're gonna cut out the middle part so that it looks like magic? Yeah, we got it. Because I was really stupid if you don't cut. No, great. Okay, I trust you. All you gotta do is go.
What was that?
Go practice.
Do not ask me how much longer.
How much longer, Mamacita? What do we do? No more sad sack. Full on fun sack. That's what I'm talking about.
Who could have wanted a rising football star dead?
He was 22 years old.
Took on mythological proportions. Everybody's a suspect. This is the first time a police entity has ever reached out to ESPN for help. It wasn't the police that
Visit talaga tong langaw-langaw na to. Okay? Tulong ka pa.
I've learned some really hard truths the hard way. I am Amanda Knox. I'm a mom, I'm a writer, and I am the girl who was accused of murder. I got treatment from the media, but the media did not put me in prison. He did. So I went back to confront the man who put me in prison face to face. I think I'm a little in shock. I was sent to prison for 110 years. I knew that I was going to die in prison. And then one day, I thought, I bet I can get out of here.
Investigators say Sarah Pender is on the loose and dangerous. Run, Sarah, run.
I had orders to shoot it. Suddenly, there was no cover. Holy.
Run, the hunt for America's most wanted woman. Only on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Reports of urban street in the aftermath of the New Year's truck attack on Struggle. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. Streaming ABC News Live.
so much for streaming with us. We begin tonight with the war in Iran and the U.S. military increasing its presence in the Middle East as Congress weighed a resolution to restrict military powers. We now have 50,000 American troops are in the region. The Pentagon released extraordinary images of U.S. submarines sinking an Iranian warship in the Indian Ocean. This as Iran draws more U.S. allies into the conflict, retaliating against multiple countries. Today, a UK fighter jet shot down an Iranian drone over Jordan, and NATO intercepted a missile over Syria heading for Turkey. You can also see this man standing next to an unexploded missile near an airport in northeastern Syria. Tonight, we're learning more about some of the Army reservists killed during that attack in Kuwait. Sergeant First Class Nicole Moore was just days away from returning home to her husband and 2 children. Routine coverage tonight. Our chief foreign correspondent Ian Pell leads us off.
Tonight, the war with Iran rapidly expanding. For the first time since World War II, the US Navy sinking an enemy ship with a torpedo fired from a fast attack submarine. Extraordinary video from the periscope of that American sub showing the massive explosion before the Iranian warship with 180 people on board sank to the bottom.
Hello, amazing Charles.
America is winning decisively, devastatingly, and without mercy.
The torpedo attack happened off the coast of Sri Lanka. Authorities there recovering dozens of bodies, saying only 32 people were rescued. That ship, one of at least 20 Iranian Navy vessels, the US says it's destroyed. Tonight, the Trump administration claiming US and Israeli forces control the sea and the skies over Iran. President Trump saying the US is in a very strong position.
We're in very good shape now, I want to let you know that, and we will continue forward. But it's a great display of military strength.
The Pentagon saying there are now more than 50,000 troops in the Middle East, with more on the way. The US now set to strike deeper into Iranian territory.
More and larger waves are coming. We are just getting started. We are accelerating, not decelerating. Iran's capabilities are evaporating by the hour, while American strength grows fiercer, smarter, and utterly dominant.
With officials revealing the current operation has delivered twice the air power of the shock and awe campaign of Iraq in 2003. Tonight, the Pentagon downplaying concerns US missile stockpiles could run low if the war drags on.
We have sufficient precision munitions for the task at
What
hand
if I
on the
don't
offense
see
and
growth
defense. And I
after
appreciate
4
the
weeks?
interest, but just know that we consider that an operational security matter.
There are also questions tonight about the number of interceptors across the Middle East being used by multiple countries to try to block these Iranian missiles and drones. Will the interceptors last? Because military officials say it takes 2 or 3 of them to shoot down just one Iranian ballistic missile. And experts predict Iran had a stockpile of more than 2,000. Tonight, Iran launching a new wave of strikes across the Gulf. A UK fighter jet shooting down an Iranian drone over Jordan. NATO saying it intercepted an Iranian ballistic missile over Syria that was heading for Turkey. As images emerge of an Iranian missile that slammed into a Syrian field. But US and Israeli officials say the Iranian attacks have slowed down. And from inside Iran, a harrowing account from a young anti-government activist in Tehran, bravely speaking out. We're not naming her to protect her identity.
It is very, very dangerous outside. Everybody from the regime has the gun. Most of them are very ugly and furious, and they have a free will to shoot everybody. They don't think about anything.
She says people are happy the supreme leader's dead. They're worried the war will stop before the regime is gone. The Red Crescent reporting over 1,000 deaths, with Iranian officials expected to elect a new supreme leader. One potential candidate, Ayatollah Khamenei's own son, Mujtaba, a hardliner likely to stick to his father's legacy, according to Iranian officials familiar with the deliberations. Israel's defense minister warning if Iran's new leader followed the same path as Khamenei, he would become an unequivocal target for elimination. Tonight, the US confirming the Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander, identified as the mastermind behind the 2024 plot to assassinate President Trump, has also been killed.
The leader of the unit who attempted to assassinate President Trump has been hunted down and killed. Iran tried to kill President Trump, and President Trump got the last laugh.
Thanks to Ian Panel. Iranian state media says the country's death toll has surpassed 1,000 people. And Defense Secretary Hegseth has said an investigation is underway looking into an airstrike that hit an all-girls elementary school in southern Iran. Joining us now for more about the impact of this war on everyday Iranians is Roxana Saberi, an Iranian American journalist who was imprisoned in Tehran in 2009 and falsely accused of espionage. Roxana, thanks so much for joining us. What are you hearing about life in Iran?
Well, Lindsay, the internet has been largely cut off for many Iranians, but the messages that do trickle through paint a picture. I've heard from a couple of people in Tehran who remained in Tehran, though many have also left the city for hopefully safer areas. And it is very scary with missiles falling all around them. And one of the issues is many of the targeted sites, the Basij or Revolutionary Guards or police stations and so on have been built within residential areas. So there are homes, hospitals, and schools near many of these targeted sites. But I also hear the sentiment that many Iranians, although they're afraid of dying, they're even more afraid of the regime remaining. It's the same kind of sentiment that you just heard in that report that you aired.
And President Trump, as you know, is calling for Iranians to take over their government. Do you think regime change is possible?
I think it depends on a number of factors. From what I speak to, from what I hear from Iranians as well. Because Iranians will not go out right now, obviously, with all the missiles falling around them. It's just too dangerous. And as long as the security forces and the regime apparatus is still firmly in power, I think the likelihood is very low. That's what they tell me. But if they would, people I've been talking to, go back into the streets, depending on how much the security forces have been decimated, or if there have been enough defections. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands, if not more, Revolutionary Guards and Basij paramilitary forces who are heavily armed, trained, and ready to die for the Islamic Republic. And of course, the people are unarmed. So if they walk out into the streets like they did in January against a fully armed regime, even if it is somewhat decimated, the likelihood of their success could be quite low.
I know no one has a crystal ball here, but how do you see this war possibly ending?
Yeah, that is so hard to say. I wish I knew. I know that the Iranians I've been speaking to don't want it to end with some kind of negotiation with the regime. They say, after this war and all these casualties, the last thing they want is for this regime to remain in place. They don't want an Islamic Republic 2.0, they say. One person said that would be the doomsday scenario for us. I mean, the hope is for many of these Iranians that this regime goes and that they have finally the opportunity to choose their own government in a free and fair election. But I don't know how we get there. I think many Iranians don't know either, and it really, I think, depends too on how long this regime stays in place, if there are defections, and if this regime continues to fight.
Roxana Saberi, thank you so much. Now, deeper in this scramble underway to get tens of thousands of Americans safely out of the Middle East. Many are being forced to shelter in place and are struggling to get through the State Department's hotline. 20,000 flights in and out of the region have been canceled since the war began. But we just learned the first charter plane has left the Middle East heading to the United States. Washington national correspondent James Longman reports from Iraq.
Tonight, the US is scrambling to mobilize military aircraft for Americans stranded in the Middle East as raining drones and missiles crisscross the region. Commercial airspace in one of the busiest corridors in the world has ground to a halt. More than 20,000 flights have been cancelled since the conflict began. Thousands of citizens spread out across 14 countries pleading for help.
My fourth day of being stuck in the hotel. I'm so ready to go home, y'all.
I'm mentally exhausted. So basically the way the days look is we are constantly running multitudes of scenarios.
Panicked passengers stuck on cruise ships, more sheltering in place in hotel rooms. Our Marcus Moore is in Doha and met Ryan Blackman from Texas, who's hoping to get home to his wife and 3 kids.
I have hopes that every day is going to be the last day, that I'll be here and ultimately get to go back home.
Some are making the dangerous drive to other countries just to get out.
We are passing the border to get out of Kuwait, finally.
There's hundreds of thousands of US citizens living in the Middle East, and with weeks of military build-up, there are now questions about an apparent lack of planning. The State Department says they are actively securing planes and chartering flights, urging citizens to call this hotline for immediate assistance. A recorded message saying, and asking callers to stay on the line. Some flights are taking off with airstrikes around them. This one leaving Beirut amid the smoke from an Israeli airstrike. The race to get out comes as the war expands on multiple fronts. Israeli forces are already targeting Hezbollah, an Iranian-backed proxy in Lebanon. And tonight, a whole new dimension is emerging.
Grabe yung ano,
Arming Iranian
gera.
pilots to fight a ground war, and they're exclusively with one of their leaders.
You will know that many Americans will be watching the developments here, very worried about getting involved in another forever war, another war that never seems to end. What would you say to Americans watching now, worried that their government is getting involved?
I think the USA owes the Iranian people a country, he says.
Our thanks to James for that. Today, Senate Democrats trying to force a war powers vote to restrict military action without congressional approval. For more, here's Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
Tonight, 5 days into the war with Iran, President Trump giving the American operation a glowing grade.
We're doing very well on the war front, to put it mildly, I would say. Somebody said on a scale of 10, where would you rate it? I said about a 15.
But Democrats furious Trump wins the war without congressional approval as required by the Constitution.
The power to declare war is ours. If we give it up, then we're turning our back on the Constitution and our responsibility to the American people.
Today, Democrats trying to force a war powers vote to prevent further U.S. military action without congressional approval.
The motion to discharge is not approved.
But Republicans blocked it.
You don't have to authorize military operations. They can go on as long as the president wants them to go on until you cut off funding.
Our thanks to Mary Bruce. The face of Charlie Kirk is now among the several banners hung outside of the Education Department in Washington, D.C. earlier this week. The banners on display are part of a series recognizing academic excellence for America's 250th anniversary. Other notable faces on the new banners include Benjamin Franklin, Booker T. Washington, and Catherine Beecher. Kirk, who was shot and killed last year, was a prominent supporter of President Trump. Legendary college football coach Lou Holtz has died. Holtz coached Notre Dame from 1986 to 1996 and won a total of 100 games during that time, including a national championship in 1988. He was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2008, being recognized for his stellar 33-year career coaching. He was 89 years old. Coming up, actress Danielle Deadweiler editions about starring alongside Steve Carell in HBO series Rooster. And this is the newest cruise ship. It's setting sail. Rebecca Jarvis gives us a peek inside the biggest ship in the Disney fleet.
RJ Decker, I'm a private investigator. And I'd like to ask you a few questions about what happened yesterday. You hear about me another job?
Maybe we dive in together and find something that connects.
What happened to your eye?
It's complicated.
For the last 3 years, I was heading underground run career.
People need to know there are survivors.
Your wife is alive out there, Xavier.
Out here, the little things will kill you.
It's never just about bunker.
My name is Pamela Smart. I'm accused of being an accomplice to the murder of my husband, Greg. But I am not guilty. You're taking full responsibility, right? For your confession. Yes.
But it's different than saying I plead guilty.
It's my fault I'm here. But does that mean I have to be here forever?
The Widow and the Wise now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Hi, I'm Conan O'Brien. I'll be hosting the 98th Annual Academy Awards Sunday, March 15th. Join me for a night of pure Hollywood magic. Yeah, freeze and hold the pose, Conan, and set the award. Okay, clear the mark,
Welcome back, everyone. From award-winning films such as Till and The Piano Lesson, Danielle Deadwyler has earned a reputation as a dramatic heavyweight. But she's now showing her comedic side in the new HBO series Rooster. She stars as Dylan, a poetry professor who becomes a confidant to Steve Carell's Greg Russo, a star author and professor grappling with his complicated relationship with his daughter, all while maintaining his public reputation. Let's take a look.
I just feel so isolated. And look at that penny for a minute. A few friends didn't get together and split. I already dated everybody worth dating. And I said I love you once, but I take it back.
You can do that.
You can.
I didn't know that. Not everyone to try, but Danielle Deadwyler, great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, what drew you to the role of Dylan? Why did you feel like she was unique?
I felt like uniqueness in that she's a young, vibrant, poetic spirit that's trying to brew lines into, the lane of poetry, which is something that's not always honed, I guess, in education today. However, I also was just interested in balancing my artistic life, and so I wanted to explore the other qualities of myself and the qualities of character development, and so I needed to do this to explore comedy. Yeah.
You yourself have not one, but 2 master's degrees. Do you feel that extra time in academia actually helped prepare you to play this character as a
Most definitely. And I persist in taking courses to this day. I just took a beautiful poetry course, and it did prepare me. I'm also, driven as a student in those experiences, but being able to witness how administrative dynamics work, but all of that informs the artistic practice as well as the artistic practice informing any academic pursuits that I might have thereafter. So
you talked about just the shift for you, the emotional toll that the heavy roles that you played, for example, in Till or The Piano Lesson. So what is more
Rhythma?
Danielle? Is it the goofier side?
What happened to you, huh?
Or do you have the heaviness component or a little of both?
I think it's a blend. Okay. We have to be able to move through the seasons, and so you gotta have some fall, you gotta have some winter, you gotta have some summer, you gotta have some spring. And so this is just that balancing act, kind of realigning it and exploring both things.
And as we mentioned, your character is really a confidant for Steve Carell's character. What was it like working with Steve Carell?
Brilliant, wonderful, comedic, explorative, workshop day by day. It's also just being in the presence of someone who's just viscerally kind, committed, an example of rigor, and developing character and driving the entire cast and crew to get to the beauty that you see in
What happened to you?
I just want to work with people who are just divine
Rhythma?
in getting the best out of themselves and the best out of everyone else. That's in Bill and Matt, that's in Phil and Lauren and Charlie, and John, it's all just
What happened to you, Mama?
to the root of what it means to be
Rhythma?
driving through what does it mean to be lonely, what does it mean
Ano
to
na naman ang nakaon ng tiga-tiga ka?
with parents. Bill and Matt talk about this bigger story about a mother and a daughter, not a daughter, but a father and their daughter, and the complicated relationships that shift as that child moves into adulthood. And so I think that there's some parts of that will be getting to be explored with Dylan as well.
Before you go, I gotta ask, you made a little news last week when Hulu announced that you're gonna be starring in Ryan Coogler's remake of The X-Files. Anything at all that you can share?
Well, as I just heard earlier, that's classified.
Oh, that's a good answer. I should have expected that. We tried nonetheless. Thank you so much for joining us. What a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Rooster debuts this Sunday, March 8th at 10 p.m. on HBO, and will then be available to stream on HBO Max. An episode will then drop every Sunday through May 10th. And coming up, we're going aboard the newest Disney cruise ship as it gears up for its maiden voyage.
I was sent to prison for 110 years. I knew that I was going to die in prison. And then one day, I thought, I bet I can get out of here.
Investigators say Sarah Henderson is on and dangerous. Run, Sarah, run.
Disney's newest cruise ship will soon set sail from Singapore. Disney Adventure has 7 themed areas plus some major firsts. Rebecca Jarvis takes us aboard.
Wow, I'm just blown away by the scope and scale of all of this.
Yeah, the Imagineers had a home palette play with on this ship, from kind of traditional splash pad to a roller coaster.
Over 10,000 miles away from Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, a new adventure sets sail in Singapore.
I mean, this street we're sitting on, you would not know that we're inside of a cruise ship right now.
This is one of my favorite spaces in the ship. This is San Francisco from Big Hero 6. There are dozens of these stories around the whole cruise ship.
Disney Adventure, the 8th and largest Disney Cruise Line fleet.
This ship has been a long time coming. We start with a really bold vision on a product that we want to create. The Imagineers immediately get to work, and here it is now. It was amazing to see the Disney Adventure come into the port last night. Just a spectacle.
Approximately 6,700 passengers will board for 3 or 4 night itineraries at sea, with 7 themed areas across the 1,100-foot vessel. Families are immersed into the very Disney magic fans love.
People know Disney all over the world, and yet it has
Why think you don't like to
American center.
eat the beef now?
Yeah, you like the pork better. This company grows in the future.
I told
It
you.
really expands in areas that have never been touched by Disney before.
Yeah, I think the Disney brand and the stories that we tell are both timeless and global in nature. They translate to all parts of the world. Anytime we build a new experience or we bring a ship to a new part of the world, we're always making sure that it is authentic to everything that we represent as a brand.
For incoming CEO Josh Tomorrow, his connection to Asia brings him back to the 2000s when he worked in.
I brought my family here. We stayed here for 3 or 4 years. So this is a very special part of the world for me. I love everything about it. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the food. I love to explore this part of the world.
I have read that you tell your kids just say yes.
Ah.
And I love that advice.
Ako'y ba?
What do you say yes to right now in life?
Well, my kids do hear this a lot. And essentially what I'm telling my kids when I tell them that is
Tupak na. I almost done.
find connection. Take it all in.
It's been a couple of weeks since you were announced as the next CEO of the Walt Disney Company. How are you feeling? What are you most excited about?
Well, I feel very good. What an honor it is to lead this company that is so special to the world. I'm humbled by the opportunity. I've been very lucky that Bob Iger has left this company in such an incredible place. And one of the things that I've been lucky enough to do is lead businesses where we took big swings and risks. We held on to what was so special about the company. We weren't afraid of trying new things, new ambitious things, like bringing to the theater, for example.
I read that you wanted to be a sculptor. So that's true.
That is true. We don't want to say that, Rebecca. That is in fact true.
And here you are, having molded this incredible thing.
Well, I think that's actually a pretty good analogy, sculpting and
So, we took the ribbons down, that ought to be a fine line. We should get credit for that.
Although this plan might avoid poachers, Hannah has concerns.
I'm a little worried, Mr. Bruce. I'm scared that we're not gonna be able to find a line.
Oh, don't worry about that, I got that. It's gonna be hard to find, but I'll find it. We'll find it.
Let's go get him.
We have no flags out because we're trying to hide our lines from these poachers. And he said, don't you worry, I got the GPS in my head. And I'm praying that Mr. Bruce can remember where all these lines are.
Where are we going?
They got a line right there. I know there ain't no ribbon cooking, that's a line right there. See it?
I see it there.
All
they really count on? Social Security helps cover what I need. Medicine, groceries, it's a lifeline.
This is money that people have earned, and our country has kept that promise for 90 years.
I hear Social Security may run short of funding in a few years.
AARP will never stop fighting to protect the Social Security payments you earned. Join us.
Many abused and neglected animals are hungry and need help right now. Many animals are starving, wondering if food will ever come, of the unbearable pain that comes with that. They need our help.
There are animals that have no idea when their next meal will come. They can't even remember when their last meal was. And they are moments from dying.
So I'm here to ask you, will you open your heart to help an animal who's hungry? Go online, simply scan this code, and don't miss this feed. It's 63 cents a day to fill their empty bowl and show them the love in your heart.
There are empty bowls that are sitting there waiting to be filled. You can tell that these dogs are so weak from hunger. They've known no other life but a life of suffering.
No animal should have to go hungry. And with your support today, you will help feed a hungry animal. You can fill their bowl, but you have to make your urgent life-saving gift today. So please join in the next 10 minutes. And if you do, we'll send you this free welcome kit to thank you for helping an animal today.
There's always an empty bowl on the ground that should have food in it. And it's very clear from the appearance of these dogs that that bowl hasn't had food in it for a long time.
We urgently need 3,000 new donors in the next 30 days. Please say you'll be one of them by signing up today. Thousands of lives are on the line, so please visit joinaspca.org, call this toll-free number, or scan the code on your screen with your support for the animals today. It's only 63 cents a day to help rescue animals who are suffering. Many can't wait much longer. And because the situation is so urgent, we're asking you to join in the next 10 minutes. And if you do, we'll send you this free welcome kit. This limited edition item will last, so act now to get yours today. With your support, you will help feed a hungry animal. You'll fill their empty bowl and you'll show them the love in your heart. The animals are depending on you, and many can't wait another day. It's only 63 cents a day. Please go online, call, or scan before it's too late. No animal should ever go hungry. And I know you agree. Please make this the moment that you say, I won't stand by when they suffer. Help fill their bowl too. Go online, call, or scan this code right now.
In Tucker Bayou, Bruce and Anna are struggling to reel in a feast on one of their hidden lives.
Hey, we got it.
How did you find this one? I didn't see it.
Just gotta remember where they at. I just look at little things, trees and, just trees on 45 when I look at stuff like that and I can remember it.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta get like you.
I can't remember what I ate for breakfast, but I can remember when my lines are.
They say butter is a good start, and it's given Anna more confidence in Bruce's plan.
I'm really glad.
Gutom na ako.
Yeah, I know.
Words are good.
We had flag, we never did.
Yeah, I can't find it now. I'm gonna get it on the line. Looking good.
Gutom na, naantok pa.